Hi YouTube. You guys liked my first video about 7 things that piss a Capricorn off so much I decided to do a second video. So if you haven't watched my first video about 7 things that piss a Capricorn off, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification button, and uh, so that you get notifications whenever I upload a new video, but also look through my YouTube channel and find that video. It might actually show up like on the left or right, depending on what you're watching it from. But anyways, um, 7 things that piss a Capricorn off. Well, first of all, if you're a first-time watcher, I am Lamar Townsend. I'm a natural intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, empathic, psychic, tarot reader, and I would love to do a personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading for you. So please visit my website, lamartownsendtarot.com, to purchase your own personal, private, confidential psychic tarot reading and or your own birth chart reading. Okay, if you have any questions, check out the FAQ section as well as the personal ethics section. Okay, once again at lamartownsendtarot.com. All right. Also, while you're at it, while you hit that subscribe button, follow me on Instagram and Facebook. The links will be down below in the description box, okay? 7 more things that piss a Capricorn off. Well, let's start by saying that Capricorns, we're very serious people, all right? I am a Capricorn sun, Libra moon, Mars in Mercury in Sagittarius, and Virgo rising, okay? But Capricorns, we are very serious people, very ambitious people. We are people that are a little complex. We're a little bit hard to understand at the same time. While we are very ambitious and, you know, um, hardworking people, we're also very complex. So, we have different, layers to us. And maybe sometimes people don't understand that. But I think I'm going to explain, different facets of the layer throughout this video and kind of, hopefully disengage, and just dissect a little bit of the Capricorn personality, all right? Number one thing that, number one more thing that pisses a Capricorn off is people resenting Capricorn for doing what they want and people resenting Capricorn for being ambitious. Capricorns don't understand why people are jealous, why people are envious of their ambition, why people, kind of hold resentment or grudges towards Capricorn because they do what they want. Sometimes Capricorn doesn't want to go out. Sometimes they want to stay in. They want to do something else other than what you've asked them to do, and people kind of always expect Capricorns for some reason to be pushovers or something like that, or for some reason, people think, especially when Capricorn is at their lowest point, quote unquote lowest point, because what is a Capricorn's true lowest point? Like, they always kind of rise, out of the ashes and kind of rise to the top, right? But anyways, people sometimes think, especially when Capricorn is at his or her lowest point and they're in one of their moods, where Capricorns can be very moody and not the same person day to day. Like, I mean, the same person, but not the same mood day to day, right? Sometimes people think they know what's best for Capricorn. Sometimes people think, oh, Capricorn, you just need to go out and have a few drinks with us. Come on with me, Billy Joe, Bob, and Susie, and, Anne, Capricorn's like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that. Like, I actually just want to, just stay home and read a book or, watch some Discovery Channel or, sad, sappy Netflix movies because that's what I want to do right now. And people look at Capricorn like, why would you want to do that? You're so, like, weird. You're so this and that. Like, what normal person wants to do that? Cool people want to do this with us. And Capricorn's like, well, I don't want to be cool. I guess I'm not normal. I don't really care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just get away from me and let me do me. Let me be ambitious. Let me kind of have my moment to recharge and kind of rethink my strategy of life and how to approach life and recalibrate. Like, I don't need your negativity and your excess, energy around me right now. I just want to do me. So Capricorn gets really pissed off when People resent, them for wanting to do them, wanting to do what they want to do, and people resent them for being ambitious. Sometimes Capricorn actually would rather, be ambitious rather than go out or, do what someone has asked them to do. They'd rather spend more time in the office, or they'd rather spend more time, getting ahead at their career, or focusing on their passion. Like sometimes Capricorns just would rather be ambitious than go out and do fun, or not so fun things with their friends, right? Um, so people like feel some type of way about that apparently, and it kind of pisses Capricorn off a little bit. All right. The second thing, that pisses a Capricorn off is people trying to use Capricorn's sensitive side to emotionally manipulate them, or just manipulate them in general. Not everyone gets to see the emotional side of Capricorn, right? Like, Capricorn for the most part is a very kind of very stern and kind of cold and stone like um person, human being on the outside, right? For the most part, most Capricorns. But for the people that really know Capricorn, for the people that really know a Capricorn, people know that Capricorns are actually really, really sensitive people. And sometimes people try to use that side of them to emotionally manipulate Capricorn. And sorry about that. I just got a notification. Oh crap, I have a whole bunch of notifications on my phone, actually. But I'm about to put that on silent because this is more important. Capricorns get frustrated when that happens. Like when you interrupt me, like, and we'll get into that in a second, actually. We'll get into that. This is actually a really good moment. Like, Capricorns hate that, by the way. When I'm working, like, don't, but it's actually YouTube. Um, but, anyways. Capricorns hate that side of themselves, like that kind of them people trying to use that their sensitive side, their emotional side to manipulate them. One, because Capricorn doesn't show that side to people very often, if at all. So, when Capricorn allows themselves to be vulnerable around you, allows themselves to cry or be depressed or sad or whatever around you, that's like a really special thing that shows that Capricorn trusts you. You're seeing, like, you're starting to see the walls break down, you're starting to see the true Capricorn. But sometimes people unfortunately take that for granted, and sometimes people use that side, oh wow, Capricorn actually does have a heart. Oh, Capricorn does have feelings. Great. I can use that to my advantage. Sometimes, it's interesting because Capricorn is the motto of I use, right? So when you tend to use people and use situations to your advantage and be kind of a user, you tend to attract users to you, right? Um, and because you're so stern on the outside for the most part, and kind of indestructible almost, um, when people see that little sliver, that little crack, where they can get in, to the heart of a Capricorn, or into the soul of a Capricorn, or whatever, the spirit of a Capricorn, and kind of use that to twist it and kind of turn it and pull it to their advantage. And yes, I've got the Capricorn around my finger. That pisses a Capricorn off because one, the Capricorn knows what you're doing. Two, you are, completely disregarding the trust and loyalty of the relationship, and the sacredcy of the relationship and the emotions that Capricorn has shown you. Two, you have shown that you aren't trustworthy. You can't be trusted. You know what I'm saying? You're manipulative. You are, a certain type of way, and Capricorn thought you were another way, clearly, because, otherwise they wouldn't have shown that side to you, because, Capricorns are super discerning people, all right? So when someone gets through the cracks and they prove themselves to be someone who, is manipulative, or is conniving, or has ulterior motives, underlying intentions, that's going to piss a Capricorn off. So, good luck with that. And expect to get that same, experience back, but on a deeper, more psychological level. And when it happens, like, a Capricorn's not going to care. Capricorn is just not like, Capricorns they don't care. At that point, it's just like their feelings are just cut off, and just like throw them to the wolves. That's how it is. Speaking of which, number three, way to piss a Capricorn off even more is to not authentically be yourself 24/7. Now, some of you could say that this is contradictory because, maybe some of you know a Capricorn and you're like, oh, that Capricorn's not themselves, authentically 24/7. And I will say, Capricorn is the sign of, it's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of restriction. So sometimes we do have to kind of restrict ourselves and bend ourselves and kind of, adhere to certain rules or, institutional kind of laws or whatever, whether it be, what I'm saying, considering the context of the surrounding. But for the most part, Capricorns strive to be themselves authentically 24/7. Now, once again, sometimes we are restricted, because of institutional, laws or whatever, Um, but there's always a little sliver of truth, in Capricorn's, way of being, or just, kind of approaching things, just getting cutting straight through the BS and just getting to the point, right? So when a Capricorn deals with someone, constantly, especially when we're already, once again, in an atmosphere where we have to be restricted, we have to kind of, to some degree, and be inauthentic, like, what I'm saying, like, that's not naturally like who we are. Like, we hate acting, like, that's why I'm not that's why I think I'm best at being an entrepreneur, because I'm not a faker. Like, I'm not good at being fake. There's definitely a certain level to me of being, being able to be fake and charming with my Libra moon and Mercury and Mars and Sag, but you have to think, oh, okay, at the same time, like, Capricorn, Sun, Virgo rising, at the same time, Sag also gets tired of the BS really quickly too. Like, this dude is just like, has like a short fuse for the BS, right? Like, and I do, and it's that Capricorn energy. It's when we have to deal with people who themselves are restricted, in some ways or a lot of ways, it's irritating, it's annoying when we have to deal with inauthentic people, when you aren't able to be yourself, whether, once again, because of institutional societal restrictions or just because of your own stupidity. I'm sorry, like, that's kind of how we think of it. Like, we just kind of think as people as smart, intelligent, or stupid, like, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, it's the truth. I know so many people are gonna dislike these videos, but that's not the point. But that's like to be expected, right? At least you're being authentically you, right? You're expressing how you feel and not hiding, right? Like, that's what we like. We like people who, don't hide behind restrictions, don't hide behind a mask, right? We can't stand inauthentic people because we truly do strive to be authentically ourselves 24/7, you know what I'm saying? And if we're not at that point, we're fighting to get to that point where we can just be ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And so when we have to kind of deal with people who are inauthentic, who are fake, who um are two-faced, say one thing, do another, like, we can't stand that type of energy. We just can't stand dealing with those type of people who are just kind of fake, superficial, surface level. Like, we'd rather stay home, reading the newspaper, or, focusing on stocks or something, like, we have stuff to do. We don't have time for fakeness, you guys, okay? Number four, not assuming responsibility for your own emotional stability. All right, now, Capricorns can definitely be a little bit of mommy's boys or daddy's girls, right? But at some point, Capricorns are inevitably kind of thrusted outside of the nest, whether it be psychologically, literally, or what so have you. You have to remember that we're ruled by Saturn, so we are, the planet of it's the planet of hardships. Building character. The strength. Courage, bravery, kind of knocking down obstacles. So you know Capricorns learn at an early age, for the most part, that one must accept responsibility for themselves, including one's emotions, one's emotional stability, one's emotional groundedness, right? Um, Now this could be a little bit contradictory for me because my moon is in Libra, so sometimes I naturally seek externally out outside of me for emotional stability, emotional stability, but inevitably I always come back to me and I'm responsible. I'm responsible. Right? That's what Capricorn's are all about: responsibility. I am responsible for my own emotional stability, not anyone else. Not my mother, not my father, not my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my boyfriend, my children when I have them. I'm responsible for my own emotional stability. So Capricorns, it's kind of in a way dealing with not authentically being you 24/7, right? It's kind of that kind of just you're so irritating because you're fake and you can't take responsibility for your own emotions. You seek outside of yourself for validation. You seek outside of yourself for people to soothe you and woo woo woo. Like Capricorn cannot stand that. We're ruled by Saturn. Saturn is the planet of tough love. Hard work ethic, time, restrictions of the past, karma. Debt. Very kind of hard hitting, kind of tough situations, tough energies that we have to deal with. So we don't have time for people that need to be woo. Nobody's wooing us, except us. We have to figure out ways to woo ourselves, right? So we can't stand dealing with people who constantly need people around them to reassure them. And don't get me wrong, I definitely have moments as well where I need to go to people and be like, oh my gosh, can you just give me words of encouragement? But ultimately, and they always are like, but you're strong. What were you coming to me for? You know what I'm saying? And it's always like, you're right. I am strong. I'm a Capricorn, and you know what I'm saying. So it's people who can't do that themselves. It's irritating for Capricorn. It just is. Um, Number five way to piss off a Capricorn is constantly invading our space and privacy. Listen, when we go somewhere, when we go outside, when we go to our next room, when we go, when we move to the next bench because you sat next to us, that means we want to be left alone. That means we don't want your energy, your presence, your being, your essence around us at that moment. Don't take it personally. It's nothing against you. It's just I, as a Capricorn, need alone time. I need me time. I need privacy. I need space from people, from you. I need me time. I need me, right? So why are you? I don't need you over here. It's just me, okay? People for some reason get upset or get offended. I can't believe Capricorn doesn't want me. It's not about you. It's about me. You know what I'm saying? And I think people, in a lot of situations in life, you guys, Capricorn is, the sage, the wise one. I'm about to impart wisdom on you right now, okay? And a lot of times in life, you guys, it's not about you. It's about the person that you're dealing with, all right? It just is what it is. So when a Capricorn wants privacy or alone time or space, it's about them. It's not about you. So when you make it about you, Capricorn gets really, really pissed off because it's not about you, all right? So chill out, calm down, take a chill pill, you know, we, get some fresh air. It's not about you. And now that you're freaking out and having this big moment, I need even more space and even more privacy. Go away. Ugh, Capricorns. Number six, asking other people questions about us that you could otherwise have directly asked us yourselves. I don't know if it's because we come off as intimidating. I don't know, if people expect us to not tell the truth when they come to us. Maybe it's because they know we're not going to tell them the whole truth, depending on who they are, the context, You know what I'm saying? Like, depending on why you want to know, like, we're super discerning. People who know us, so, but at the same time, that pisses us off. That pisses us off. So a lot of times they'll be like, "Ooh, don't tell Capricorn that I asked you or told you though." Like, to cover their tracks, to cover their asses, right? But inevitably, Capricorn finds out, and Capricorn gets pissed off because you could have just directly asked. Capricorns are very, for the most part, very direct, blunt people. Okay, they can, we can, kind of be passive aggressive, but at some point we do get assertive and kind of state our ground, kind of claim our stake, right? So we're direct people, we're honest people, we're blunt people. Don't go around our back, don't go underneath our nose, snooping around, snooping through our stuff, or asking other people, hey, so what happened with Capricorn and so, or what happened with Capricorn in this situation? Why don't you just ask the Capricorn themselves? And that would be a better thing to do. Okay, you wouldn't piss the Capricorn off, you make it a more direct answer, you probably get like a truth and not like a filtered version of the truth. Because there's always three, sides of a story: the truth, the Capricorn side, and the other person's side of the story. So it is what it is. Number 7, last but not least, okay, doing things that throw the Capricorn off, especially if done directly or discreetly. All right, Capricorns are not like Scorpio. I know Scorpios and Capricorns have a lot of similar traits, but Scorpios are secretive. Capricorns, for the most part, are not. All right, definitely, they have their secrets for sure, but for the most part, they're very blunt and honest people. So when you do things to throw them off, it pisses them off. When you kind of, ask them to show up somewhere at a certain time, and, you kind of, they show up with the expectation of doing one thing, but you kind of switch it up on them when they get there and, ask them to do another, that's going to piss them off. You've thrown them off, right? Or if you're like, a lot of times people like, just kind of like to test Capricorn and see just how really intelligent and smart they are, or smart we are, and they'll kind of directly or discreetly throw you off. Like and then they'll play dumb, like, oh, I don't know, I thought, or oh, I don't know, I don't like. And Capricorn always knows what's going on. We always realize, and then you end up looking like the dumb one. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up like Capricorn ends up pissed off. You probably end up getting cussed out or yelled at. You end up feeling bad. You end up feeling resentful against Capricorn. And then it's just a big mess. So communication skills, you guys. Like, I know Capricorns can sometimes have an issue with communication, but when it comes to things like, saying, asking a Capricorn to be somewhere, and, or, just Capricorn and his or her responsibilities, like, don't throw them off, don't switch it up on them. These are very kind of methodical, practical people. Of course things happen, and life isn't perfect. We can't always expect, to get to A to B without, taking a detour, or, like, always, just it's being a straight line. Sometimes it's like a zigzag, sometimes it's more like a curve, right? Like, it really depends. It's not always perfect, but at least try and make it perfect. All right, like, right, like, that's what Capricorns is all about. If it's not perfect, try your best to make it perfect. All right. um this is a little bit satirical and comedical, all right, but it's also truthful, all right. So I hope you got some clarity and insight. I hope you know that, at the end of the day, Capricorn, as a Capricorn, love you, whether you are a Capricorn or a Virgo, Taurus, Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I love you regardless, okay? It does not matter to me. I just thought it would be cool to talk about some more things that piss a Capricorn off, okay? So I know Capricorns are complicated. I know they get upset really easily. Just accept it. We're complex. We're different. We're the sea goat, so we're emotional but grounded at the same time, and we're not always grounded. We're not always, emotional. We're in between. We're fluid. Sometimes we get stuck though with that grounded energy. You just have to vibe with us. You just have to flow with us, and if you can't keep up, it just is what it is. All right. It's all love, though, at the end of the day, right? So please contact me at lamartownsendtarot.com. Purchase your own personal reading from me at lamartownsendtarot.com, whether it be a personal, private, confidential tarot reading or a private birth chart reading, okay? Any questions you may have, check out the FAQ section as well as the personal ethics section, okay? Also, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram and like me on Facebook, okay? The links will be down below in the description box, alright? See ya, and love you, Capricorns, and love all of you, alright? Thank you.